Welcome to the course on Geographic Information System. This is module 11, GIS as a software. In this module we are going to look at Bhuvan GeoPortal and Google Earth. The concept covered in this session are introduction to Bhuvan GeoPortal, utilities, various utilities in the Bhuvan, and open data archive in Bhuvan, and introduction to Google Earth and how to prepare data using Google Earth and importing the prepared data to QGIS platform. So Bhuvan is a web-based utility that allows user to explore and set a map-based content prepared by ISRO or Indian Space Research Organization. The content includes not only the open data archive, it also includes thematic map services such as disaster related agriculture, water resources, land cover, and processed data of ISRO as well. So Bhuvan is launched in the year 2009. It offers high resolution spatial imagery for Indian locations with a spatial resolution up to 1 meter. So currently 177 cities are covered with high resolution data sets, and remaining part of the country is covered with the 2.5 meter resolution. The satellites includes Resourcesat 1 and 2, Cartosat 1 and 2, and thematic products of these satellites are hosted in Bhuvan GeoPortal. So with this introduction to Bhuvan, we will directly jump to Bhuvan web page and try to explore the contents in the Bhuvan. So if you do a Google search of Bhuvan GeoPortal, this particular website will come. So that is called Bhuvan GeoPortal or Welcome to Bhuvan. So if you click on that, Bhuvan GeoPortal will get opened. So this is the landing page of Bhuvan GeoPortal. So here left side you can see Indian Geo platform of ISRO. So this is hosted by National Remote Sensing Center, which is the nodal agency to host Indian geospatial data. So in this landing page there are shortcuts for many of the major applications. For example, Bhuvan 2D, Bhuvan 3D, Open Data Archive, and disaster management services, or the various line departments or government departments, they hosted their services or the data sets in the Bhuvan platform. So if you go to these links such as central or government or central ministries, so all these data are hosted here. The link or the shortcuts are given in the landing page itself. We will try to explore one by one. First let us go to Bhuvan 2D. So if you go to Bhuvan 2D, the map of India will appear in the landing page. So you can convert this, or you can zoom to any place and start exploring. For example, I will zoom to somewhere in Bangalore. If you zoom to Bangalore area, you will be able to see the detailed map. So not only as a map, if you want to see a satellite imagery with the high resolution data, that also can be done. For example, if I click on the satellite imagery with the spatial resolution up to 1 meter can be seen. So this is the place where the Chinnaswamy Stadium is existing. So you can zoom to this particular place and start exploring the pages. So for example, if you go to tools, so let us try to explore what are different aspects are in this particular page. So if you go to tools, you can add your own photos, or you can add a panorama, or you can add a special layer. So if you know that at that particular place some feature is there, then you can add this layer to Bhuvan GeoPortal. This will be published after proper authentication by ISRO, so that can be viewed by many other users as well. This is the contribution platform where users can contribute their data to the Bhuvan platform. So not only that, if you want to shapefile of this particular stadium for your analysis, or any other feature in the map, so that what you can do, you can go to tools and you can use draw tool. Using the draw tool, you can create a point, line, or polygons and start downloading the data sets. So it gives how to use the tab. So I will close the tab and start using maybe start creating a polygon for example. So to create a polygon, I need to select this particular button. So then start creating the polygon. So for example, I will create a polygon for the stadium. You need to zoom to this particular level and then start creating the polygon. For example, this circular polygon I will create now. Once you complete the polygon, what you need to do, you just need to right click to complete the feature. So once you right click, the feature will appear in the left side. So this feature you can download directly by clicking here. So once you click here, it asks for attribute, it asks for name. So I can say it as Kantirava Stadium, and I can give a message. I can say it as a Bangalore, it's in Bangalore, and then I can create the feature, and then by clicking download, that particular feature will get downloaded to your desktop or your particular system. So I can just download it to my folder. I will go to nptel datasets and output. Here I will download the feature. It will get downloaded as a zip file. So if you go to that particular folder, so the downloaded file will appear. You can unzip it and start using it. So the particular shape is existing here. So here you can see all shape files. This one we can directly import into QGIS, that we will see in subsequent slides. We will go back to Bhuvan now. So this is one feature in which you can create your own shapefile using Bhuvan and download it and start using it for your further applications. Not only that, if some new updates are there in Bhuvan, that will be published under this published button, where new products which are published by Bhuvan, for example any disaster management services or any other environment related services, that those will come up here. So if you want to know about Bhuvan store or the data hosted in Bhuvan, you can click on Bhuvan store. Here it completely lists out all the data sets which are published by ISRO. For example, all the digital elevation modules or satellite products are listed here in the front page. So if you go here, so it shows first it shows Cartosat digital elevation models for various Cartosat sensors starting from the year 2005 to 2008, and even 2011 hyperspectral data is also available. So not only that, it has imagery products of AWIPS having 56 meter spatial resolution and LIS3 data having 24 meter spatial resolution. This can be used to perform any kind of land use or land cover analysis for any cities or non-urban area as well. So similarly, if you know USGS website, so there you will download land use, there you will download Landsat imagery. Similarly, LIS4 provides at 24 meter resolution from Indian satellite, from Indian ResourceSat satellite. Similarly, so if you go down, there are some more terrestrial science products which are listed from these data sets. So you can go through these products and start exploring in the Bhuvan website. So all these data sets is hosted in Bhuvan websites. Not only the data sets, even the products such as land use land cover maps. If you come down, so Bhuvan thematic services, it provides land use land cover maps and wasteland maps or geomorphology maps, flood hazard maps. So even urban sprawl map is also there. What you can do, you can go to that particular place and start creating your polygons. To that polygon, it will give you the land use land cover statistics along with the map. So this is about the Bhuvan store. So what and all different data sets is hosted by Bhuvan website. So not only that, Bhuvan also lists out its collaborators, various government departments, those who hosted their website or their data in the Bhuvan portal. So those government department website agency and their contribution is listed in the Bhuvan contributor page. This also we can explore. So this is about till now we have seen about Bhuvan 2D and various open data available in Bhuvan. So now what we do, we will try to download one open data from the Bhuvan website. So for that you need to click on open data archive page. So if you come to this page, it asks for your login details, or you need to create one Bhuvan account to download open data from the Bhuvan. So currently I have logged in to the Bhuvan page since I already have an account. So if you don't have an account, you need to create one and then log in. So to create account, there will be an option called sign in option or option will be available at the right top in the Bhuvan page. So what as we seen earlier, Bhuvan, in Bhuvan store it mentions all Cartosat and list images or ResourceSat images, it is available for the download. So if you go to this particular window, so here we can filter out different different data sets and start downloading the data sets. So we can filter out using satellite or sensor, we can filter out using thematic theme or products as well. For example, if we filter out using satellite and sensor, so it gives options as Cartosat 1 or LIS 4 or LIS 3 or OceanSat or hyperspectral imagery as well. For example, we will try to download a LIS 3 imagery just as an example. So if you click LIS 3 imagery, all tiles are listed, or tiles can be viewed across Indian country. So if you zoom to any place, those imagery will those grids will be visible to you. So if you come down a little bit, so you can select the area using 4 different methods. You can either select using a bounding box, so with the minimum longitude, minimum and maximum latitude and longitude, or you can select by map sheet. So if you know the map sheet of the area, or you can select interactively or tiles you can select. So currently what I'll do, I'll just select one tile for an example and try to show you how to download the data sets. So if you select tiles, we need to start selecting the tiles. For example, I'll select somewhere here. So this particular tile I'll select and then go to next. So it lists out all the data sets visible in different timelines. If you see date of pass, so this is the date at which a satellite has passed and took the imagery for that particular area. So you can view the imagery here as a thumbnail and then start downloading the data sets. You can view the imagery, we can view the metadata of the data. So metadata is data about the data, it describes what are the data set it contains, what is the spatial resolution, spectral resolution and other parameters. You can inspect the data before downloading it. So once you comfortable with the data set which you want to download, then you can click on download. You can click on download to download the data set. So if you click download, so it will directly get downloaded to your system in a zip format. So this one you can start using it for your projects in future. So if you go and inspect the data set which you have downloaded, we will just try to see what kind of data it has. Using any of the unzip software, you can extract the folder. So this can be viewed here. This is the folder which is downloaded. Here we can clearly see different bands of the data set is visible. So this is not a color composite. So if you want to create a true color composite or a false color composite, so you can use either R or GRASS or QGIS, any of the platforms or software tools to create a false color composite and start using in your projects. So this is about Open Data Archive of the Bhuvan. So this is one of the example here. Here we showed how to download LIS 3 data using Bhuvan portal. So not only LIS 3 data, you can download even hyperspectral data or Cartosat DEMS. So if you want to create contours for your area, for example in this coastal region, this particular tile, if I want to create contours of somewhere around 90 meters or more than 90 meters, so this Cartosat digital elevation model will help you to perform any kind of elevation related modeling. So in a nutshell, Bhuvan is a geoportal which provides geo data for Indian scenario in various domains, not only in Open Data Archive. So for example, if you go to disaster management and services, if somewhere in flood is happening or landslide, earthquake or earthquake prone area or flood warning, so these kind of things which is being monitored by ISRO is being hosted in the Bhuvan. So for example, recent earthquake in Nepal or the flooding happened in Karnataka, all those things were hosted here. So if you click here, you will be able to see the recent happenings along with the geotagged photos as well. So till now we have seen Bhuvan geoportal's properties. So let us next go to the Google Earth and try to see what kind of data we can create using Google Earth and what kind of feature it gives. Let us just go to Google Earth now. So I hope the installing of Google Earth will be very easy, and you can just go to Google website and download the Google Earth software. So if you open Google Earth software, so it will open something like this. So you can zoom to any place and start creating this data sets. I will show you how to do that. For example, I'll zoom to one of the place in Bangalore and try to explore the data sets in the Google Earth. For example, so this is the same place which I have shown you, a Kanteerava Stadium place. So if you want to see the timeline of this particular data, or for example, if you want to visualize some older data for some outskirts of the Bangalore, for example, this particular date. So for example, so for this particular place, the imagery date is 3/20 and 29. It's the March 20th, 2019. So at that date imagery is captured to this particular place. Suppose if you want to view the imagery for some 2-3 years back, so how to do that? You just need to go here. There is an option to show historical imagery. If you go here, it gives a timeline. So if you just slide back to somewhere around 2014, and 2014 it looks something like this. So you can clearly see there was a high-rise building which disappeared from this particular place. So this is how we still we can go back to some more years and see. Here you can see the high-rise building which is appearing. So if you go to somewhere in 2009, so the entire scene in that particular image will changes. So this is how we can explore different timeline of the data sets in Google Earth. So let us try to measure using Google Earth. So how to measure feature? For example, if you want to measure this particular road length using Google Earth, how to do that? So there is a tool for measuring. I will switch off the timeline, and there is a tool for measuring here, show ruler. So it gives option for measuring the path, line or polygon. So for example, if you want to measure this particular road from here to here, you just need to click, drag and double click here. It shows 339 meters. Or if you want to change the units, you can do that as well. So if you want to change it to kilometers, so this is 0.34 kilometer, or if you want to change it to feet, so that also can be done. So for example, if you want to measure the area of the any particular place, so that also can be done. You will just close this once and again I'll click. So if you want to measure, you just need to click on the polygon button, and for example, if you are having a site or any property here, you can measure that property by clicking here in the 4 corners, or any shape you can create. If you double click it, the area in square meter it shows. So the length is the total length of the line. So area in square meters, or if you want to measure it in hectares or even acres is also possible. So this is around 1.96 acres. So this is how you can effectively use Google Earth imagery or Google Earth tools to measure or to measure length and areas, and also to view the timelines of the imagery. Not only that, if you want to create some polygons and bring it into QGIS, that is also possible. Suppose for example, I want to create Bangalore stadium. For example, if I want to create this one as a polygon and bring it into QGIS, that also possible. For that, I need to go to my place and create one folder. I will go to my place and create a folder. I will create my data. So my data folder is created. In this folder, I am going to add a polygon. I can add a line, point or a polygon. I will add a polygon. Using polygon feature, you can trace the stadium. So suppose if you want to make it a transparent, so that also can be done. You can go to style and color. So area you can make field instead of field and outline. If you just make it outline, only outline is visible. So even the lines color also can be changed to any other color which is you are comfortable with for digitizing purposes. So once you do this, and we can just name this as stadium, okay, stadium, and then press OK. This particular polygon is added. So how do we bring this into QGIS? For example, so once the feature is created, we just need to export this one as a KML file. Just save places as, I'll save it into our folder, that is in desktop, nptel folder, datasets, output. Here I will save as my data. So instead of KMZ, you need to select as KML so that we can bring it into QGIS platform. My data, Google Earth, I will rename it. So now the data is saved in KML format in the folder. So now we'll try to open QGIS and try to bring the data sets to QGIS, and we will try to view there. So Google Earth is not only helpful for creating the shape files or creating the shapes or measuring the data, it is also useful in getting the latitude and longitude of the place for many applications. For example, if you hover your mouse around the area, since it is giving very high resolution imagery, you can get the latitude and longitude of that particular place in northing or easting or geographic lat-long systems, and also you can see the altitude of the viewing angle as well. So now the QGIS is open. So how do we bring the data set here? So we just need to go to layers, add layer, add vector data, and browse to the folder. Our folder is in datasets, output. So here we can see my data Google Earth, which is visible. So I'll click this and open. So once we try to open this, the stadium which we created in the Google Earth is opened here. So here also we can bring in Google Earth as a background image, which we have seen it in the earlier classes. So we can go here and bring Google satellite as a base imagery and visualize. Similarly, you can create any number of features. For example, if you want to bring a lot of building rooftops or for any kind of analysis such as solar assessment, or if you want to doing if you are doing land use land cover analysis, so to get the signature of the places, to get the land use of the places, you can create in Google Earth and bring it into QGIS or GRASS platform to perform analysis. Now I'll try to add Google satellite imagery as base map. So once we add here, we can clearly see this particular stadium. So what we created is overlapping the place correctly. So this is how we can use Google Earth as a base imagery and for performing many analysis. So till now we have seen introduction to Bhuvan GeoPortal, and we have seen the properties of GeoPortal and different utilities provided by GeoPortal. Not only that, we have seen open data archive in the GeoPortal, so where it is providing different kind of data sets to download. Not only that, and finally we have seen introduction to Google Earth and how to prepare the data sets in the Google Earth, and importing the prepared data sets from the Google Earth to QGIS, and measuring different land features using Google Earth and Bhuvan. So these things we have seen in this particular session, and thank you.